turn into an accordion.
Became half of myself.
Yeah.
Hit the ground. And when I was down there, she then ripped my shirt off. And then I realized why the boys were there. They were going to see something.
Yeah.
Ripped my shirt off, and I just have my little breast buds out. And the humiliation was so great. And I felt I could not do anything. I allowed this to happen to myself. I just knew it was going to coming, and I just accepted it. I didn't know the stripping of the clothes was coming, but it all was just so terrible. And they all continued, the boys included, then laughing and kicking me until I ended up in the... And I also got into a lot of fights. Growing up, I was busy fighting a lot.
Physical fights.
Physical fights, yeah, bullied.
And you would fight back. Were you good at fighting back?
I didn't fight back at first. There's a story that really, the moment when I decided to fight, I was one day, do you want to hear this story?
I do.
Okay, so one day, I was getting bullied quite a bit, and I would always know that I was going to get my ass kicked because they would come and tell me, after school, we're going to kick your ass. And I'd be like, okay. Thank you for letting me know.
Was this all because of the color of your skin?
That, and I was not, still not like a shrinking violet.
Yep.
So if you said something to me, I'm going to say something back.
Okay.
So that probably got my ass kicked a few times.
Yeah.
But this one particular day, this really tall, like this girl was already like 6 feet tall in the sixth grade, came to me and said, "Yeah, we're gonna kick your ass after school, just so you know." And I said, "Okay. Sounds good."
This is all very... I love that it's like, can we schedule that in?
Yeah. I'll put it in my planner.
I have something at 2:15. I could do 2:40. 2:40 works. Ass kicking, 2:40.
Ass kicking.
It's
Also,
so...
6-foot girl making me think, was this you?
No red hair.
Okay.
Very funny.
All right.
And yes. Go ahead.
So I'm on the bus. They're on the bus. I know what's happening. I get off, and sure enough, she gets off, and 2 other girls get off, and then like 3 boys get off too. And I thought, that's interesting. Get off the bus, and sure enough, I'm walking home, got my head held low. I know it's coming. I just don't know when the first hit's coming, but I know it's coming. And out of nowhere, I just feel like on the top of my head, that's how tall she is, just like boom. And I like did like the wiggle down. You know?
Yeah. you turn into an accordion.
Became half of myself.
Yeah.
Hit the ground. And when I was down there, she then ripped my shirt off. And then I realized why the boys were there. They were going to see something.
Yeah.
Ripped my shirt off, and I just have my little breast buds out. And the humiliation was so great. And I felt I could not do anything. I allowed this to happen to myself. I just knew it was going to coming, and I just accepted it. I didn't know the stripping of the clothes was coming, but it all was just so terrible. And they all continued, the boys included, then laughing and kicking me until I ended up in the sewer, which was like the open water that ran outside of our house. We were like in a little country suburb. And there I was in the gutter as they ran off laughing. And when I got out that day, that was the day that I said, no more. I am never going to accept that somebody's going to kick my ass. And I said, okay, well then let's do that. And that was the day I started fighting back. And I didn't fight back necessarily fight with fire. I decided I was going to control everything at the school, right? I was going to be, because part of the reason I was letting myself get beat up is because I didn't feel good enough. I didn't feel on par with these kids, right? I felt like somehow in some twisted way I deserved that, or I didn't belong there. And I decided I'm going to be the class president. I was going to be on the honor roll. I was going to be the head cheerleader. I was going to be the editor of the newspaper. Like I did all the things so that I could not be denied. And through that, little by little, respect grew for me. And I felt good about myself. And so therefore, I felt that from everybody else. And by the time I left that school, I felt like I was now running the shit. I was like in charge. And that's how I dealt with feeling less than and allowing myself to be beat up.
There are those forks in the road where, that terrible experience you had, things can get worse after that, or they can start to get better.
Yes.
And you made this decision, all right, things get better now.
Yep.
That's what's going to happen.
And those are pivotal moments in one's life.
Yeah.
And it was my 5th grade teacher, Yvonne, who was there to help me come up with this strategy. She helped me realize how I could, leaving the school wasn't an option. So it was, how could I fight back without going to their level and using violence and, figuring out how I was going to like murder all these kids. It was more about, how do you really fight back that really will benefit you as you grow, not just beat these kids. It's not about these kids, really.
Well, also best revenge is success.
Yes.
Having an amazing life and being a superstar.
Yes.
I'll get there.
Yeah.
Come on, man. I'll show you all. I'm real pretty.
Your early foray into being seen is in beauty pageants.
Yes.
And so it's interesting to me that, which you were very successful at.
Are you successful in beauty pageants?
Were you not? Was it? I mean, how did you took that route, and then you're being seen that way, but you must have known, no, I've got this whole other.
Yeah.
I've got this amazing tool set that isn't even being utilized in me just being in this pageant.
Yeah. That's, sometimes you kind of fall into something. You don't really know how you got there.
Yep.
That was kind of my story.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really know how my boyfriend at the time entered me in my very first one because he wanted to have a girlfriend who was a queen, a beauty queen.
What the fuck?
He just wanted that tiara. I want a tiara.
So weird.
You're expensive.
Because does that make him the king then, by law?
That's so weird. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, the queen consort.
That's a strange calculation.
Yeah.
But
so of course I show up. I get this letter in the mail that says one day, you've been accepted to the Miss Teen Ohio pageant. I was like, well, really? How did I get in that? He's like, oh, I sent your high school picture. I sent it in for you.
Okay.
That was a good thing. So once you got in, I got in. And the thing about beauty pageants, when you win one, then you have to go to the next one. Like there's always a step next.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So I went on a string of winning, and every one I got into was just because I'd won the one before.
Right.
So I had to go do the next one, and you had to go do the next one. And then finally, I love
experience too. And I know there's a lot that must happen in between, but Jungle Fever, Spike Lee, how does that happen?
How does that happen? Well, because I came from beauty pageants,
Mm-hmm.
when I realized I was studying at Second City, and one of my teachers there said, you should be an actor. And I really didn't. I said, really? And he said, yeah. So when I got this chance to audition for Spike, it was to play his girlfriend. And the thing was, pretty girl is his wife. And I was like, okay, that got me in there. But when I got to meet Spike, I said, I know you want me to read that, but can I read the crack hoe part? Can I read the other part? And he was like, no, I don't. You're not the crack hoe. I said, I am the crack hoe. I am the crack hoe.
No idea, Spike.
I am the crack hoe. And he was
not crack, it's bananas Foster. That's my crack, but it's still the same idea. So how did you convince him?
I just said, I am really more than the pretty girl. I want to show you that. Let me go. He goes, okay, go in the bathroom, wash all your stuff off, and maybe I can see you as the crack hoe. So I did that, and I came out, and then I got to audition for that part. And he was like, you are the crack hoe.
Congratulations.
Ultimate compliment.
You won. You're the crack hoe.
I'm getting crack hoe right now.
From
Congratulations.
beauty queen to crack hoe.
Yeah.
That's like a journey. But I also knew if I was going to really be doing this thing seriously, I felt like I needed to come out of the gate being more than, speaking of boxes, I did not want to get put in that box.
Yeah. But I think if you look back at the trajectory you already had and what you had been dealing with, because you had to fight all those battles, you're in a situation where most people are just thrilled to be in the Spike Lee movie.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? And pretty girlfriend in the Spike Lee movie is just fine, thank you. But to be in that situation, say, no, actually, over there is where I think I need to be. Writer-director, auteur. That it all comes from this. It goes back to this same idea, discomfort, a feeling of being unsettled as a kid. I think that builds this strength, and where no, I'm not going to do that. I need to be over there, even if maybe people around you are saying, "Don't rock the boat." This is the part you could have.
Yeah, and I knew being a Black woman, it's the bottom. It is really the bottom, and you have nothing to lose. Only to gain by rocking the boat and demanding more and asking for more and being loud about it. You have nothing to lose because you're already at the bottom. And that's really how I felt.
It's unbelievable that I'm going to skip ahead to Monsters Ball, for which you win an Oscar, and it's a historic Oscar. It is a seminal moment in film history. It's a big moment. When you see that part, do you think, this could be huge for me? Did that resonate with you? Or did you go into it thinking, oh, this is another part I can play and I'm going to do it? And maybe it was hard to see how far this could go.
Yeah, I can't say I thought Oscar. I don't think anybody can think, oh, this is going to be an Oscar. I don't know if you think that. That's insane. But I felt like this was either going to be one of the best things I ever did or it would end my career.
Yeah.
But that's where I like to live, on that edge of risk big, win big. I've known you cannot win big if you don't risk big. And if you don't even try, you're surely going to lose. So people around me said, because at that time I hadn't done nudity and the sex scene was like it had a big red light on it, sexy. Like it was such a big part of that movie that people close to me said, this could really be, this
could hurt you.
This could really hurt you. This could not be a good thing. It was a little small movie, no money. It's like a little indie, like it could be all for nothing, right? And I had the feeling that I related to the character. I wanted to play the part. And I said, if this ends my career, then I'm ending my own career on my own beliefs, right? Yeah. No, it's what I wanted to do. And if that's the case, then I have a knowing, then that's what it's meant to be. And this isn't for me then, right? I have a knowing of that if it ended it, then I'm in the wrong place. And it would be the universe showing me to move or where to go, right? I didn't think that there could be a negative no matter how it turned out.
Also, as you just said, you have that I've got nothing to lose here. It's a great attitude. Yep. It's a great attitude, which you come by that the hard way. You come by it very honestly, but it's such a,
and you know what,
position of strength. Yeah.
When you really believe that, and I do, I can still sit here 30 years later at 60 this year, not afraid to do anything really, because I still feel that way.
Yeah.
I have nothing to lose. Nothing. And that is a really empowering feeling. And that has allowed me to try many different things over my career. It didn't always win, but it didn't mean I lost. It didn't turn out the way I wanted it to. Yeah. But it didn't mean I lost. I'm still here. And it's just like, okay, well, that didn't work. Let's try something.